I grew up in a rural area where every night when I looked up, I could see the stars and the moon. And it had always been my dream as a child to touch one of those stars. But I never been able to do that. And my life just moved on like any ordinary person. And then in 2012, I was accepted to this amazing school that is now called the Liger Leadership Academy. The people, the environment, and the education I received are just phenomenal. Now, we are a project-based learning school, therefore we do a lot of projects, and we call them exploration. One of the exploration I did is about the marine ecosystem, and this is one of those projects that really has changed my life. I was introduced to coral reef and the underwater world. I've seen those before, but it was on TV. But this time, with these projects, it was real. We got to go out to Koseh Island, which is located at the Cape Archipelago, and I snorkeled for the first time. This is my snorkel equipment. We have the mask covering our face, and we breathe through the snorkel, this one. And I have to say, I was blown away by all the life that the coral reef hosts. I mean, before that, I love fish a lot, but this experience has brought it to another level. I fell in love with the colorful fish and the marine life even more. Now, those colorful fish and the marine life that I now know the names were chocolate drop starfish, sea cucumber, this veloute snail, they're very cute, the coral sea anemone. Like, since then, I've really developed an interest with the marine ecosystem. I have to say, my dream when I was young of touching the stars and seeing the universe really has came true. I've discovered the underwater world as a universe itself, a universe that lies within Earth, a universe where any of us can go to, a universe where there's so much life left deep down there that is yet to be discovered, or even life form that we've never imagined would exist, like these guys. I find them to look like aliens from the outer space. I remember my first time swimming with the bioluminescent plankton. These are the planktons that glow when you move your hand and leg. To me, it felt like I was swimming in a universe that is full of stars. And every action that I do, those stars would glow. It's very cheering me up at that time. I later became one of the 8 members of the Liger Marine Research Team, LMRT, and our team proposed and received a grant from the Lagunza Foundation. Now, to do a long-term research project on the overfished and the damaged ecosystem. And I also would like to take this time to say thank you to the Lagunza Foundation, Backscatter, Patagonia, and Pasco Scientific for helping us out. We really appreciate their help. Yeah. Now, our team also worked very closely with Marine Conservation of Cambodia, MCC. Now, with their help, we evolved from a non-divers into a certified scuba divers. We knew nothing about reef survey and can now do a 100-meter transect survey, identify 77 fish species, 55 invertebrates, and substrates. Now, this evening, I would like to share with you all my knowledge and my experience with the ocean. For centuries and centuries, the ocean is regarded as an endless source of food. It is also a useful transport route. And because it's such an immense place, it is a convenient dumping ground. We thought our actions were too small to affect the immense ocean. Now, those are no longer true. The ocean is being threatened by us, the humankind, Homo sapien. We have pushed the ocean to its limit. We are taking way more fish than what the remain can produce. And we are only leaving it with trash. Although the majority of our trash end up in landfill or being recycled, many of them go into the ocean. Now, a study in 2015 showed that there are 8 million tons of plastic being dumped into the ocean annually. Now, those plastics wash down from rivers, beaches, from boats, ships, and the ocean's current then carry them out into the open sea. Now, in the North Pacific Ocean, there are more weight in plastic than there is in fish. And when those plastics are in the open sea, they form huge garbage patches. The biggest one is a Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It is twice the size of Australia. And if you look here, this is the size of twice the size of Texas. This is Texas and this is Cambodia. If I take twice the size of Texas, that means the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is more than 7.5 times the size of Cambodia. That is a really scary fact. What's even scarier, those trash are getting smaller and smaller because the sun degrades them. And that's not a good thing because fish, turtles, and birds confuse them as food. Now many of them died. Some got entangled, and many of them also continue up the food chain back to us, back into our stomach. Now at this moment in time, it is not a feasible solution for us to just go out and pick those trash. They are too small, they are too thin, and they are too diverse, and they are too far from mainland too. What we can do is we can change our daily behavior to reduce the amount of trash that is being dumped into the ocean. Let's zoom in from the vast ocean into one of the ecosystem it supports, the coral reef, one of my favorite. Coral reefs are one of the most diverse ecosystems in the world. It's like a rainforest underwater that is home to 25% of all the marine life and is a nursery ground for about a quarter of the marine fish. Now, the only difference between rainforest and coral reef is that one on land and one's in the water, obviously. Now, this makes it that when rainforest is being cut, we can see that the trees are gone. But when the coral is being destroyed from beaches, from the boats, from the ships, you cannot tell the difference. With this, it makes it very easy for us all, for all of us, to ignore the problems that is happening to the coral reef. Because we cannot tell the difference. And we can no longer do that. We have to do something about it before it reaches a point of no return. Now, one of the most serious problems that coral reef is facing is the rise in ocean temperature. It's the rise in ocean temperature. Now, coral, during the day, coral gets its food from the algae that, through doing photosynthesis. When the temperature is too high, the coral and the algae break apart. And if the temperature remains too high for too long, the coral and the algae won't be able to recover. Those algae are what give the coral its bright color, right, this one. And it's what gives the corals food too. When the algae leave, the coral appear to be white or bleaching. Coral bleaching is happening all over the world, from coral in Cape to the one in Australia. Now, over the past 30 years, coral bleaching has become more frequent, more intense, and more widespread. When the temperature is too high, disease can go into coral easily, and it will spread quicker too with high temperature. Let's now talk about the Cambodian Ocean. There are 4 provinces with coastline: Koh Kong, Cape, Sihanouk View, and Kampot. Like any part of the world, pollution and climate change is a problem to the ocean. But one of the more serious problems to our ocean, to Cambodian Ocean, is unsustainable fishing. There are multiple practices of unsustainable fishing. The number one being trawling. Here is a diagram of the trawling net and the trawling boat. Now, what will happen when the boat started to move like this? Anybody? This is the net, and it touches the seabed. So what will happen when the boat starts to move? Anybody from the audience? Anybody? Yes, exactly. It destroyed the coral, it destroyed the seagrass, and it scoops everything in its path. Small fish, big fish, everything will get scooped into the net. Now, high activity of trawling can be evidenced by wash-up coral or seagrass. Here is a recent photo taken from MCC in Cape Beach. You can see here there has been a high activity of trawling. That's why the seagrass is washing up to the beach. And it is destroying the tourism too. Here is a picture of the trawling net. This stuff has no use to the fishermen. They threw it back into the ocean. But once it's out of the ocean, it died. Now this will disrupt the whole ecosystem that these plants are from. Another serious problem is electrofishing. Now this is a 20-volt battery that has been converted into a 1,000-volt battery. You can see here, the voltage is very high that I need to put a computer fan on it to cool the battery down. You can come to look at it after my speech also. Now, when the fishermen put the cable into the water, everything within 1 meter radius will get killed. And with 1000 voltage, that's enough to kill almost anything. So even the small fish, the small shrimps that are hiding underneath the sand or coral reef will get killed also. Now fishermen don't need that, but once they're killed, they cannot do anything about it. So the future population of that species will also be reduced. Now, there are multiple NGOs and our government is working very hard to protect our ocean and to fight unsustainable fishing. And on behalf of everyone here, I would like to say thank you for their hard work, days and night. Now, what about us? What will we do about it? Or are we gonna do nothing? Which I'm sure all of you will not do that. Now, for those who think that they're gonna do nothing, let me tell you something. The greatest threat to our planet is believing that somebody else will save it. This goes with the ocean too. So what can we do about it? Well, we can support NGOs and our government. For example, MCC is doing a campaign that is called Save Cape Archipelago, the dying jewels of Cambodia, where they plan to deploy this concrete block into the ocean. Now, when fishermen net pass by, the block will snatch the trolling net off, and fishermen can continue their activities. Over a period of time, these blocks will also turn into an artificial reef. As you can see here, there are fish and algae growing on it. So do me a favor when you go back home, look up Save Cape Archipelago, the dying jewel of Cambodia, and see what you can help and try to help them out. What about the problems that I just mentioned? What can we do about it? Well, for solution, there are small actions that we can do about it. We can try to, for pollution, we can try to reduce our waste. And with everyone here and everyone out there, right now, our small action will affect the ocean, will affect the big picture. Pollution, we can try to reduce our waste. That means as simple as not accepting a straw when you buy your drinks, or having your own reusable bag, or having your own water bottle, like here. You can have your own water bottle, which will lower down the rate at which the bottles is being dumped into the ocean. 1,500 bottles per second. What about the rise in ocean temperature? Well, we can all try to reduce our carbon footprint. That could mean use renewable energy or support renewable energy. And for unsustainable fishing, we can all be cautious what we're buying. We can make a safe and sustainable seafood choice when we're at the restaurant. And one more, when you're at the beach, when you want to buy a souvenir and you see a beautiful coral or a dead seahorse, keep in mind, they have taken out of their habitat and be killed to be on their table. I know like Nemo, Dory, they are so cute, but keep in mind that they do not belong in your tank. Be an eco-friendly pet owner. So with all of this action will affect the big picture, like I said. So let these small actions ripples across our city, across our coastline, and across our countries. Because together we'll be part of the solution and not the problems.